Hello BookTube, welcome back to my 2026 library tour. In this episode, I'm going to be finishing off this side of the bookcase. It is a double-sided bookcase because there is no backing. So this shelf is going to be mostly Russian history, but I'm going to start with two more works of German history, and I will end on a history of communism. So first up is Iron and Blood, a military history of the German-speaking peoples since 1500 by Peter H. Wilson. So as far as I know, this is Wilson's most recent book, and it is about German military history. Have not read it. The next book I have is Summer of Fire and Blood, The German Peasants' War by Lyndall Roper. This is the story of a major peasants' revolt at the beginning of the 16th century, around the time that Martin Luther was formulating his critique of the Roman Catholic Church, and how Luther's repudiation of the peasants kind of colored what would develop as Lutheranism and the Reformation in general. This book is a slog. It is thematic in a lot of ways, and that doesn't always help with the history that's being told. Although it has won awards, I think this won the Kundal History Prize last year, but I didn't particularly like it. Well, I didn't like it. Now on to Russia. First up is The Romanovs, 1613 to 1918, by Seaman Sebek Montefiore. So this is a history of the Romanov dynasty that ruled Russia from 1613 to 1918. I don't remember if I've ever read this or not. Next up are some royal biographies, starting with Peter the Great, His Life and World by Robert K. Massey, who wrote a number of massive biographies of Russian rulers. I have not tried this one yet. The next one I have tried. Catherine the Great, Portrait of a Woman by, of course, Robert K. Massey. So this is a biography of Catherine the Great. It is highly praised by a number of fans of hers or readers of biography of her. A lot of the consensus is that Massey's biography is still the best. I did not get on with it at all, though. Sticking with Catherine, this is Catherine the Great and Potemkin, The Imperial Love Affair by Simon Sebek Montefiore. Have not read it. I have tried and did not get on with this next book, which is, again, by Robert K. Massey. Nicholas and Alexandra, the classic account of the fall of the Romanov dynasty. So I got some ways into the book and I just lost interest. I don't know necessarily if Massey is a writer for me. I think there should be one more Massey coming up soonish. Now, once the Romanovs fell, this book kind of has stories. So this is after the Romanovs, Russian exiles in Paris from the Belle Epoque through Revolution and War by Helen Rappaport. Have not read this. I've heard some good things about it, though. Now, moving on to the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. First up is The Soviet Century, Archaeology of a Lost World by Karl Schlogel. Translated, I think, from the German by Rodney Livingstone. So this is a big history of the Soviet Union. I think it's done thematically. Yeah. And I've heard, and Steve Donahue has highly praised this book. I tried it, and I did not quite have as much success, but it has been quite a while. Next is Collapse, The Fall of the Soviet Union by Vladislav M. Zubak. So this is probably going to be for the foreseeable future the definitive account of the collapse of the Soviet Union. It was a finalist for the Kendall History Prize a few years ago. I did not get on with it despite 2 or 3 attempts at it. Next is Gulag, A History by Anne Applebaum. I have not read this either. And finally, To Overthrow the World, The Rise and Fall and Rise of Communism by Sean McMeekin. So this is a history of communism by the author of, I think Stalin's War was his book before this. I've heard, I don't think I've heard much about this book. Anyway, so that completes this side of the bookcase. Tomorrow I will start on the other side of the bookcase, which is mostly British history. So look forward to that. Until I see you then, BookTube, thank you, have a great rest of your afternoon, and stay safe.